Hello. Welcome back to the 14th episode of the Heal Hot Girl podcast. This is Jess, your wellness bestie.
I'm SP.
And I'm LB.
Hola.
Wow, I'm really excited today.
LB! We're here. Listen.
Hi, compadres. What's going on?
Oh, wow.
What's that?
So much Spanish.
Say your favorite Spanish word.
What's your favorite Spanish word?
Don't know what my favorite Spanish word is.
Okay.
What's your favorite Spanish word?
My favorite Spanish
I feel like you're
word?
speaking so much more Spanish since you've been home. I've never heard her speak this much Spanish. She walked in my door speaking Spanish last night. I said, wow.
I said, hola, Rosie.
Because I have a Chihuahua that I'm fairly certain grew up in Mexico. I really can't confirm, but she...
No, finish, please, because the world needs to hear this.
No, I just swear my dog understands Spanish. And then when I try to talk to her in Spanish, she doesn't listen, but we'll be walking down the street and this just happened and someone will start speaking Spanish and she stops in her tracks and looks. So something just makes me feel like she understands.
It's so true.
I don't know.
My favorite Spanish word is coño.
I love coño too.
Coño. And it's because it's a word that little kids will pick up quick.
Yeah.
It's so funny. And it just means damn it or fuck. But it's just the funniest word. It goes with everything. Coño. A little irritating. Come on. Yeah. She's like,
No, I love coño. Do you agree though? Do you think you've been speaking more Spanish since you've been home?
Yeah, I feel like I have. I've been, I don't know. I feel like it's just coming out. I'm hearing my mom speak it more or whatnot, And so, I'll respond to it. Or if I'm being funny, I'm just saying things. I surprised myself. I was arguing with Airbnb folks in Spanish.
Good for you. Well, because it used to be she'd be okay, before, I remember when I used to visit you when we lived in Columbia Pike, and there was a Spanish restaurant she used to love to go to, but she would have to compose herself in the car before going in because she had to prepare to speak Spanish. Yeah. And now I swear you're just
yeah. No, it's real.
Not that sounded crazy, but you know.
No, it wasn't the Airbnb folks. It was the boat rental people in Puerto Rico. I was literally in Spanish. I don't know. It's everything because certain words in Spanish just sound a little bit more powerful. I was like, how are you gonna give me used food?
What?
They dropped up.
For used food?
Right,
Yeah.
A part
what?
of the yacht charter, a part of the boat charter was fruits, food, snacks, lunch, etc. So when we get to the boat, they had double booked a boat. This is another thing. It was back to back to back. So they had double booked the boat that we had initially
That's
asked for. Then he was like, "Hey, do you want this other boat or whatever? There's here are pictures." Where I'm like, "Okay, that boat is fine." Come to find out, we get there. I'm looking around because me and Spectre before we dock. Okay, before we dock, where the fruits. Where the beer? Where's the liquor? Where's the beer?
Where's everything we pay for?
Where's the lunch? Okay, what are we having?
Is it at the
What is the
Jesse's
island we're going to? All that shit was
before
missing.
we even leave the dock.
Before we leave the dock.
I know that's right.
Girl, I'm on the phone with these folks and I'm like, we had double booked, whatever. We waited. I was 30 minutes waiting for everything that we were asking for. What do you mean?
Crazy.
That we paid for, number one. So that was one thing. Then it was, okay. So then at this point, he's like, I'm going to have someone meet you at the island that you're going to bring you food. I'm like, okay, that's a nice compromise.
Okay,
Cool. Yeah. Another boat's going to come. We could go ahead and get our trip started. You'll meet us there. Why we pull up to another yacht? Or I'm thinking this is the product. No, this is that boat's used food.
You're lying.
No.
They gave you the people before you used food?
Open cheese. I have pictures. I was like,
and
what?
that's the kind of stuff that you just it's not like it's bags of chips or something
that was
like
crazy.
that.
I'm like, where are the burgers? Where
That's
anyway,
crazy.
So then it gets better. When I open this grocery bag, okay,
of
and
used food?
Ziploc bags of hot dogs.
Were they hot? They had to be hot.
Those hot
I know,
dogs.
but it was still.
So, anyway, I went off, and point is, I spoke a lot of Spanish because everything was more powerful.
Point is, I
in
spoke
Spanish.
a lot of Spanish.
Literally, I let them have it. I was like, how are you gonna give me used food?
No, that's insane.
¿Cómo
That's
tú me vas a
crazy.
dar comida usada?
Ooh.
I hit him with that, girl. anyway, I was like so pissed off, but like in the end, I'm just like, it was just the L that we had to take. Like,
Yeah.
Did they give you your money? Like, did they give you a discount
that's a fight for me to go have. But I wanted to get to New York first before I started.
Yeah,
fighting. I
that's
fought
fair.
too much.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Especially on your sister, like you say, your sister's bachelor.
But it's like you paid for like
It's
I don't
girl.
understand where
the
people.
boat was nice. That was it.
But that's what I'm saying. But you pay for an experience, and like, why do you think that you can just?
You want to talk about paying for an experience?
What?
Oh my gosh, the trip here.
I just moved into my building.
Oh yeah.
None of the amenities
Yeah, that's
are
wild.
open. We don't even have mailboxes.
That's insane.
What?
Yeah, they're dropping all their shit off at the
Wait,
front
did
desk.
they say it was gonna be ready by the time you moved in?
You know what? When I'm thinking about it, they didn't say a thing.
That's the thing. That was like trove, man.
I'm like, that's real cute. That's real
That was
cute.
like
That's
trove.
real cute.
Oh my gosh,
That's
trove.
real cute.
Ugh.
That's real cute. I'm like, okay, y'all are funny.
Not having a pool in Nashville when that's what you're paying for.
Dog, it
is
was 100 degrees all week. Like,
that's frustrating.
Listen, damn, that's crazy. I wonder if like for every day that these amenities aren't open, you get some kind of prorate on your rent.
we have asked that, and I haven't asked this building, but apparently the loophole is they don't have to provide you with you're not actually paying for the amenities. They don't have to provide you with the amenities.
Well,
I mean,
if you pay an amenity fee, you do pay.
Ooh,
You do.
I actually don't know if I pay an amenity
that's
fee
the
or
part.
not.
Well, you have to when you move in.
You pay an amenity
Check to
fee.
see if you paid an amenity fee when you moved in, because
Yes.
out in DC they will
Maybe
literally charge you
yes.
for having toenails, and like that's one thing that they'll advertise as like to get people to come rent there is like waiving the amenity fee because they'll charge you like $500. Like I've
Yeah.
never
That's
like before I moved to
crazy.
DC, especially in Buffalo, like I always had like apartment buildings here were like less common, so a lot of us lived in like doubles. So like I always had a landlord and a house. Like it was never like a
Yeah.
building. And then going to DC, I mean you can get houses in DC, but I mean the buildings are like a dime a dozen. So I lived in a building, and I just was so shocked at what they nickel and dime you for in the building. Like you end up paying for like literally, I'm like, what is the building provide? Like
They
we pay our
making
water,
profit.
we pay they are 100%.
they're making
I mean they
profit.
have to.
No, for sure.
But like I just like water and sewage and stuff like that was never something garbage. I never paid for that
Yeah.
as part of my rent. You know what I mean? And
Right.
here they charge
And
you
it's
for a
always
water
getting
fee.
stuck.
They charge you for like. Don't get me started. I don't even want to talk because my AC has been going in and out of my building for the last 10 days, and I was down there with Brian Jackson, the manager, the other day, and I was telling Jess last night. I was like, because he didn't really tell me anything. This has been going on. Mind you, it's been 95 degrees in DC for the last week and a half when this has been happening. So my apartment is getting up to 80 degrees. And I ended up going to meet with him, and he's just like, oh, well, basically admitting they have to like fix something on the building, but because it's raining, they can't get on the cooling towers. I don't fucking know. Just
outside
always
walking
something.
their cats, right? Like,
walking your cats
Jesus.
is hilarious. But yeah, no, there's just always something, and I'm like, I don't love. There's a lot of things I like about living in the apartment building, like the fact that I don't have to like clean out my own drain anymore. When my hair clogs it up, I can just call my friend Elmer, and he comes right away, and like stuff like that. But yeah,
Thank you,
it pissed me
Elmer.
off when I moved there because I was like, this is not standard.
Yeah.
Like I've been living on my own essentially since I was 21 years old, and like I've never had to pay for any of this shit.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It's crazy. No, they do. So take.
I'm gonna check.
Look,
I'm
girl.
gonna check. I actually don't think I paid an amenity fee. There was a dog. There was like some dog.
You would know if
monkeys.
you-
Yeah,
if
because
you
I
did.
checked. Because I remember there was a miscellaneous. I was like, "What's miscellaneous?"
Yeah.
And it's what they something they average. Like, oh, internet's included. No, it's not. It's included in this $125 charge. Miscellaneous. That's what it is.
oh,
It's like that. There was something else. Yeah, like the valet
way
trash.
they just try to-
is in there. Yeah.
oh, they make you do the valet trash.
Yeah, we pay for our valet trash. It's a few.
It's a strong
things.
arm for me.
So you
Don't
leave-
tell me
is
what
that
to
where you leave
do.
the trash in front of the door?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jess hates
that's-
that.
I know. I don't like, but at this point, I don't even know where our garbage bins are. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
mean, who knows?
take
Like,
the garbage,
yeah.
I guess. I don't know where
You're
else
not
to put
giving me
it.
any other choice, so like fucking fine.
That's crazy.
All right.
These people are.
Yeah, apartments are crazy.
No.
But you know, is this the budgeting topic? Is this the
This
episode?
is. This
Gender
is.
roles and finances.
Yeah, so talking about sacrifices we're making, that's one I had to make moving into I guess I didn't I guess I did. I wanted to because I was thinking about the life I want to live financially in the future, thinking about my future financial self. And I was reflecting and I was like, I don't have any of the things that I want for my future self, but I'm out here living. like I got it all. You know what I mean? Like spending like I got everything I want already.
Hello.
And I was like, that's crazy to me.
She said living.
There goes Sam.
It's crazy to me. So I was like, you know, I was living in a
I'm over here
3-bedroom,
like,
2.5 bathroom, and it's me and my 2 dogs. Like, I had all the space for when people come to visit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did need the space. I enjoyed the space. The space was what I needed.
Your
for
house
the
was
time
beautiful.
being.
You had a beautiful backyard. And
Yeah,
a porch,
yeah, but it
patio,
was
all
like
that.
I was traveling so much more. You know what I mean? And I'm just looking at this rent, like, damn, you know, I got all this space, and it was just me. And again, looking at my finances, it's like, well, you're spending. You know, you're spending like you got it all.
Did you like cut your rent in half by moving?
Not in half. I cut it pretty significantly, but I'm also renting. I don't know. We'll see what it nets out to at the end of the day.
Oh, because you rented the office.
I rented the office
in your
space,
building,
which is like a really
cool.
nice feature that they have. But yeah, so we'll see what it nets out to be. But like, I mean, even in utilities, I was spending $300 a month on either gas
That's
or electric,
crazy.
given you know, to
Damn.
heat and
well,
cool
that
the
whole
house.
house, yeah.
So
And
you know,
especially 'cause
on
it's
any
hot.
given month, right? Like my electric bill was $300 in the summer, $400 for gas in the
insane.
winter.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, it was a lot. Now you're paying for someone to cut the grass. Like you're paying for a lot of
Yeah.
different stuff, and so
You had to pay to cut the grass?
yeah, I had to pay someone to cut the grass.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
The landlord didn't take care of that?
No, some landlords will, and some won't. I think if I were a landlord, I would do it. I think because it's how your
you
house.
take care of your home.
Yeah, it's how it's ultimately your house.
We even have
so.
It's like in
someone,
Buffalo,
taking
you need
who's
someone to-
assigned to take out the garbage. Like you
Right,
hire someone to
right,
like just worry
right.
about the overall
Yeah.
maintenance.
Well,
Yeah,
when we lived in Buffalo, we were always responsible for taking out our own garbage.
Yeah.
We didn't pay for
to
the
recycle
garbage.
it, sorry, in New York because this. heavy
Oh
on
yeah, but we didn't
recycling.
pay like they had to pay. I don't know why you have to pay to throw your garbage away, but like the house would pay, but
Right.
we would be responsible. But it would be kind of like who's gonna plow the driveway in Buffalo, or like who's gonna take on like those responsibilities, which I
Yeah.
actually don't remember.
Girl, I was
Most time it
blown
is the
away.
landlord for
Yeah,
shoveling
they
because
did
if you
our
slip
like
and fall,
plowing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could sue them.
You
Not,
could do them,
Not
right.
in college. They had me shoveling.
That's insane.
So yeah, I had to take care of the lawn. So that's a few
Crazy.
Not that
Sorry,
much,
I
but-
was just like, that's on
So
top
yeah,
of like.
yeah. So I had a lot of extra house expenses too. So yeah, I downsized to be able to save a little bit more because I want to be able to have first and foremost a 6-month emergency fund for my business, and that also a 6-month emergency fund for my business and for myself personally, and I'll have that. So it's like,
Yeah.
you're wildin'.
Yeah.
Like you're wildin'. You don't even have the basics right now, right? Like what you need to be stable if something were crazy were to happen, right? And something crazy always does happen as evidenced, right? So it's like you got to prepare. So I've had to make some sacrifices in my budget, and my house was one of them. So I think just the rent wise, I was saving close to like $800 a month
Oh, that's not- I
going down to
mean,
the
that's good.
apartment, and not
That's
including all the other
significant,
fringe
yeah.
expenses. So yeah, it's significant.
And you'll save month to month when we're not spending $400 a month on
On these
they'll be like
utilities.
$60
yeah,
a
max,
so like,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, and plus the apartments come with these different amenities like a pool, which I don't have, and all these other things that I don't have, like a secure parking garage, a mailbox. Like I don't
Where
know.
are you parking your car right now?
We do have a garage; it's just not secured.
So anyone can get in
So
there.
anyone could get in there, and right before I moved in, there was a series of break-ins, and I was like, "Please just do the front window if you're gonna do it, because I already got a crack on the front window. I got to
God.
replace."
Just take out the whole.
Nah.
Honestly, something else happens to my car. I'm parking it back in the Mercedes
Are
dealership.
they-
Like y'all take it back. I
Are
don't
there
want it.
cameras in the garage, or at least in the
No.
entrance?
Oh, I don't like
They have a
that.
security guard who, when I pulled up, Mance was on the phone.
I bet he was
Okay, no.
chit chatting.
See, no, at least
Yeah.
a entry and exit camera.
Camera.
Something.
Yeah, something. That's
Yeah.
good. Even though you could go maxed up. I mean, listen, they're gonna.
I'm about to bring them some muffins. I've had a lot of requests lately, so I'm about to bring them a little box of muffins.
That's so
Get on their
nice.
good side. No,
I mean, that's smart.
because I want them to build a gate.
Here's
No,
these
it's not
muffins.
even-
Can
no,
you
it's
please
not
build a
even that.
gate?
Yeah, no.
No,
I mean,
that's fair. In
Or
DC, all those cars
send
would have been
those
gone.
notes to, like,
Build
the-
a gate, please. I'm asking for this gate. I feel insecure
Yeah.
in this apartment.
Or like in the event.
Yeah, but so that's one of the sacrifices I've made is downsizing. I didn't want to. I'm losing a lot of privacy by going into an apartment compared to my house. Like I was laughing with LB, like in front of my house. Like this is something in the South too. Like you don't park in front of other people's houses. Like if you can help it.
What?
If you can help it, you don't park in front of other people's house. There's space in front of your own
Just
house.
a
Park
what?
there. I didn't think about that coming from Buffalo, right? You park where there's a spot.
I mean, yeah. Well,
Generally, you want to
Yeah,
park
yeah.
in front of your house, but like if
Yeah,
I parked
I'm
across the
breaking
street,
rules.
you wouldn't be like, Sam, pull your car over here.
got it.
Like you're parked in front of somebody's
Yeah.
house. You're like,
What do you mean?
What's the
I'm
big
on a
deal?
street.
Yeah.
But so it became a thing once I moved to the house. When people would park in front of my house, I would be like,
Excuse me.
I'll all of a sudden be in the window. You see me like,
Wait, I'm crying. That's hilarious.
I would go, like, there was a few times when I pulled up and I must have done like a subtle pause or something, because next thing I know, someone comes running out with the keys. On 2 different occasions, someone came running out of their house and moved the car.
That's hilarious. That's
So
some
that I
down
could park
south
my
shit for
car
sure. That's some
in front of my
Tennessee
own
shit.
house.
That's crazy.
So like that's how much privacy I had before, is that people wouldn't even park in front of my house unless they were coming to see me. And now I live in an apartment, and my apartment, like, the dog park is right here. I got a neighbor who thinks she can talk to me when she's in the dog park through my windows. I'm like, lady,
Okay.
I'm about to just roll.
People
Next time
just
she does
need-
it, I'm just gonna roll the
Okay.
window down in her
That's
face.
insane.
'Cause
That is crazy.
I mean, that's Nashville, right? Everyone's nice there, right?
She's too nice.
Right?
I'm about to roll the window down. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna roll the window down. It's a slow run. It's not.
Excuse me,
It's not
Susan,
fast.
not right now. Thank
It makes
you.
a noise. Gink. I'm just gonna roll all the way down. The contractors are walking through the side between
oh my
the
God. And also the construction noise.
construction. The day I
Oh.
moved in, I swear to God, all the construction workers were staring at me. I asked two of them. I said,
Listen.
"Can I help you?" They didn't speak any English. He said, "Do you need help?" I said, "Damn it, no. I don't
No.
need help. Get out of here."
Listen, construction.
They are flagrant.
It was under
Amazon was flagrant.
Amazon
They
was
played
building
foul. They were party fouling.
I mean, and I will say, and I think I've said this before, it's absolutely beautiful. The park that they've put in, what they've done is like stunning. However, the 2 years that I've had to endure of constant like construction men,
Dust.
trucks, dust. I had nowhere to walk my dog for 2 years. Like it was
Parks
like
blocked off.
awful. So I can like definitely feel your pain to like, because I'm just so thankful that now it's just a bunch of people that fucking work at Amazon with their name tags on, and I'm like, all right, well,
All right, Jerry, please
literally.
move.
Excuse me.
I'm trying to walk
And I
my
don't really
dog.
think they live in the neighborhood. I see a lot of them like commuting because they put these two. Anyways, I sound old. I'm over here. Love you, Amazon. The fuck. I'm over
The
here
point
complaining
is
about people
sacrifices.
driving their car. Like, all right, Alyssa,
The point
relax.
is, we had to make some sacrifices for
Yes.
our future financial self. And it's not going to happen today. Honestly, I don't know how long I'm going to be in this apartment for.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I want to buy a house.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable buying a house until I have both of these emergency
Yeah.
funds. And also, you need Nashville money to buy a house. These houses are starting at $400,000, $500,000 for like a townhouse. You know, like
I'm just wondering. I keep seeing that
So-
meme. Like, how come when we decided to become adults, everything got so expensive? People were over here buying houses for like $30,000,
Crazy,
like
and
our
less.
parents, and like now we have to pay literally triple that for the same thing. It's
Crazy.
insane.
It's
Listen, let me tell you something.
Breathe. To breathe.
To breathe. We were talking about this last night because we're just like, I quit my second job, as we know, and now I'm like. You miss that little, like, DC is so expensive, like to go outside, right, to go outside is a minimum of $20. Like, not even just to go out. I mean, when you go outside, if you're not walking your dog, to go to the drug, like, you can't eat for less than $16. You can't get she was like, I bought a $19 salad yesterday.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was
Like,
not
everything
okay.
is just like so expensive, and it's just gonna keep going up. And I'm like, I don't really want to get a second job because, like, who the fuck wants to do that? You know what I mean? But at the same time, realistically, like, I am not going to be able to make it. Well, I can. I just need to go in the house more often. But
I was going to say, what sacrifices
that's okay.
have you made, or are you making, or could you make? Is there sacrifices things you could go, and it has to be significant. Little things add up, but I feel like
Not really.
those bigger things of like,
Because it's like, where am I?
Yeah.
I don't really have a choice on rent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
rent is rent.
I probably, where my rent, I paid $2,000, and that's like cheap.
Yeah.
To be honest, the only reason why I have that rate right now is because I've lived in my building for 3 years. They're renting my unit out right now, starting at $2,300 a month. And that doesn't even include the $125 a month I have to pay for parking.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things. I still have a car payment. So there's like things that, like, the essential things in life, like, I just really don't have a lot of wiggle room on right now. However, I like went out last week, and some weeks in DC I'll go out and like God is just shining on me.
Shout out
Because I'm
to-
telling you, like 3 weeks I went out, I didn't spend anything.
Ooh,
I
love
spent no
that.
money. Like, we would go to the bar to get a drink. Just men were intervening. We were getting invited to these parties. I was like, huh, wow, this is wonderful. But last week, this shit punched me in the fucking face. And I was telling her I went to this one place that I didn't even like the bar. It was honestly gross.
Oh.
But like, whatever, we were out. I bought myself a drink, this is how I know it's been a minute since I've been buying myself drinks. When he handed me the bill for $21, I was like, huh? It was a Casamigos and soda and a cup that was like this fucking big.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I need to go inside. Like, I just realistically, it's like you in DC, unless you, first of all, people have a lot of imaginary money in DC. Like, I don't know where the fuck everyone gets their bread from, but like, there's so many people out there that I'm just like, you party all the time. And like, I'm on the low end and like, you can't go out for more than 200. Like, it's going to run you 200 at least. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, these might have to be spending thousands of dollars a weekend. And I'm just like, how?
And it's not only that, but like crazy how much money just gets thrown. For real. Like, you can go to, we have gone to, like, for example, Rosebar a handful of times, and like, you're definitely going to see a ton of the same people spending that same bag
every weekend. They're out every single weekend. And I'm just like, how?
Yeah.
But not only just buying drinks, buying bottles. I don't know. Hey, I'm not here to count people's pockets, so like, do you? Yeah. But I'm just like, I know that when I go out, even I went to happy hour. Happy hour still ended up being like $55. I was like, I thought happy hour was supposed to be happy. I thought it was supposed to be cheap. Like, how am I walking out spending $65? Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Like, I don't know. It just, I don't really know what I'm going to do. I don't really have a lot to add on this topic because honestly, I was telling Jess, I was like, I am like just trying to just like make it right now. There's potential, there's career growth for me. Yeah. However, just the situation I'm in right now, there's really nothing I can do because like I said before, my job requires licenses and things like that. Yeah. And I'm just not at the point where I've gotten to that level yet because I didn't know I had to until I got there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, eventually at some point I know it will get better. So that's why I'm just like, but I feel like I've been grinding for a long ass time. And that's why I'm just like getting another job is just like, I just really don't want to do that. And also because she was like, because I can pick up side therapy jobs all the time, but it's like, I don't want to. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me.
You probably have like a limit. It's a limit for your,
like I go to work all day and do it all day long and then come home and do it for another 3 hours at night. And I'm like, 3 days a week, like I would rather just...
Well, when is you said your car is going to be paid off real soon. How long
End of the
is that?
year.
End of this year. So that's
like 6 months left.
Yeah. And then how much will that add to your budget every month?
$400.
So that's significant. It's really like you wait these 6 months out. Yeah. See, now you have an extra $400 to your budget. And then maybe make a decision because I feel like that's going to be significant for you.
It's very significant.
That's like side job money almost.
And that's really what I noticed was when, because that's really what my side job was doing was paying my car note. Because so then like when that ended, that's when I really started to feel it because I was like, damn, like this is like another $400 that I'm like, that I have to take out of like my regular pay that I'm getting every 2 weeks, which I didn't really notice because for a while I had the second job, but like, so I don't know. I'm going back and forth. Like there's a lot of things that I could do. Yeah.
Like you could also get the second job for 2 months or pick up something for 2 months during the summer.
I was
put all
looking
that
at
extra
like
money
Instacart.
towards...
Like I was telling them today, I love grocery shopping. Like I'm the weirdo that like loves grocery shopping.
You were a Wegman shorty for such a long time.
Like 7 years.
Wow.
And so like I thought about that.
Alyssa
like,
with the bun on top of her head. Yes. You've seen
her. Are you kidding me? Rosie
People
in the back
still
seat.
come up to me when I'm in the store. They would be like, "Oh my God, you used to work here." Like
she does.
We'll never forget the Miami trip I got off working at Wegmans.
Woo!
Sam was
Miami
there.
Trip we got off working at Wegmans.
One of my customers gifted me a trip to Miami.
Oh my God.
We had a time for her birthday at Lowe's.
At Lowe's, Miami.
Not like Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Keep your points. We had Lowe's bucks.
We had to buy our own flights, but yeah, we stayed that whole trip.
Luxury.
We were like
balling.
We
loved wine. We were like, oh, we got an extra bottle. You want it?
We were giving fucking champagnes. Like who do we think we are?
At like 23.
Yes.
That's
we
crazy.
were like, there was a couple next to us. I think they were celebrating like an anniversary, and we're like, give them the bottle. And we're just like, who the fuck are you? But like, he just gave me, so like, I think we used like half to pay for the room, and then we used the other half to.
We went to the spa.
Went to the spa.
We ate.
Crazy.
We went to dinner. We sat out by the pool and got like
Pool service.
Did you have dinner on the beach too?
We didn't. But we should have. We didn't. But yeah,
No,
so like there's little stuff, and I work well with people. It's just like I thought about bartending, but bartending is still a really hard job to do.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just like, but like part of me, I feel like Spirit, like I said, is just also telling me just to like chill.
Rest. Yeah.
There's like something that's like because I almost feel like in some ways manifesting this is like the calm before the storm. Like shit's gonna get real eventually. So like yeah, you might not be the most comfortable financially right now, but like your bills are gonna get paid. You're gonna have a house, you're gonna have a car, and like it's gonna be go time at a certain point. So like maybe just enjoy the lull before we're gonna come back to this, guys.
The waiting room.
Girl,
the waiting room.
I looked at my budget and got uncomfortable. I said, whew, y'all, I swear to God, y'all will be sick with how much money I spent on, I think it was in May, how much money I spent on food in May.
Well, you told me your DoorDash the one day. I was like, oh my God.
Wait, what?
It was, I spent someone's rent essentially on takeout. $1,300 on takeout.
month?
Yeah, in May 2023.
That's insane.
And that's not including my
I don't-
coffee bill,
girl.
because I separated coffee to see how much I was spending on coffee. It was $225. So I spent $1,500. I spent somebody's rent on takeout.
Crazy.
Who do you think you are?
Crazy.
Who do you think you are?
Ball-
Who do you think you
Ballin'.
are?
Crazy.
But don't got an emergency fund.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Who
So
are
make
you,
it-
Big Papa?
make it
Like,
work.
sit down.
She was playing
Sit
sugar
down.
mommy.
For real.
Sugar
You want to buy
mommy.
everybody's
Sugar
meal?
Sam.
I'm like, okay. Okay.
Nah,
So I've
chill.
gone through, so the way I budget now is I use an app called Every Dollar. It's Dave Ramsey's, you don't have to use it. But I use the Every Dollar app, and the idea is that you give every single dollar that you're getting, you assign it somewhere. So in theory, yourself, like, what are your savings goals? What are these goals? What are your bills? What's your so every dollar every month, your account, not in theory, should really be at zero, but this Every Dollar app should be at zero. So I set it every month, but then what I do is I have to go back and adjust it a lot throughout the month because I start spending, overspending in certain categories. And so what it's done is it's made me see. Again, before I've just been spending. I haven't been paying attention, but going back through every single transaction and logging it into the app. And there are better ways to do it. I'm just not paying for the app. But it also keeps me accountable to every single transaction. I have to see every single transaction, and I'm looking
Like
at
what you're
these numbers
spending on
as they're
what.
adding up.
Yeah.
So now I know categories where I'm spending. Like, you know what I mean? So like when you do it, for me, I found that it's like a wake-up call. So now I know where my problem areas are. I've known them for a while. They've always been the same. It's shopping, it's eating out. Two biggest budget busters by far, shopping and eating out. So it used to be travel, but it's not that much anymore. So yeah, that's what.
You could have took a trip on that meal money.
So many trips.
Crazy.
So many trips. Like,
Crazy.
it's crazy to me. So yeah. So it's been a wake up call for me, and that's why I started to have some real conversations with myself about like what do you want for yourself later? Because you're not living that life for yourself financially. Like, you're living like you got it now, but like your bank is saying you don't got it, and your budget is saying
You definitely don't got
you
it.
need to slow down. Like, so that's why I started to make some of the sacrifices I'm making, because I know I'm not where I want to be. I don't have the things that I want to have, you know, like I'm talking about building a state. Girl, start here.
No, facts.
Start here. You know what I
Facts.
mean? So I'm trying to just be a better steward of my money, because, you know, be faithful with little and I'll make you rule over much. So I'm trying to do what I be responsible with what I have right now, be more responsible than I have been. And so, yeah, so I'm in an apartment. I'm lacking a little bit of privacy. You know, it's a journey, but God put me here for a reason. I'm excited to see how much money I can save and stack and make. You know what I mean? Like, so it's exciting on that aspect of it, but it doesn't come without sacrifice. But but I do feel more in control now that I have budgeted and I know what the problems are. You know what I mean? Like, it does give me a greater sense of control. Like, I can do something about it once I know where my issues are.
Yeah.
So
I could definitely be more disciplined in like following the money. I feel like the floating budgets, and Dave speaks about it a little bit, but like the floating budgets is a thing. In my head, I'm like, I got it. But for me, it's actually like having to like take money and move money and put it aside. Like my purpose of leaving DC was like, I'm traveling on a monthly basis, this is that. And then it was like regrounding, and like, you do have some credit card debt that you do have an opportunity to pay off. And so, you know, it's a give and take, right? It was like, got it, you can. And in itself, it was going to be costly too. It wasn't like I was saving. I would have paid a month's worth of rent in a different country.
Yeah.
Not including like my flight to get there, whatever the case may be. So I decided to go back to Jersey, and literally after I had my like little fun, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start putting rent money aside, and that's like what I was paying in rent, I was putting towards my cards. And so to bring that like down, and it was good. It was nice to like pay a full card off at like, and I don't know the credit tips, like, you know, you're supposed to have some debt, like you pay, your credit score will go up, et cetera, et cetera. But my whole point is this was debt that I was also carrying for like, from my past that just needed to get cleared out. And I'm like, why not start this upcoming, for sure, like this upcoming like birth year, clearing that out and going back to DC, a clean slate, and God, what are you gonna do now? You know what I mean? So another test and a financial test, and just getting more tight with my money. But a part of that, like things with that app, when I was taking a real estate class with my sister last year, and one of it was we had to do our whole budget and like lay all the thing out. To look at your bank statement honestly gives me so much anxiety.
Absolutely.
Like I open that and I'm like, oh my God, like. Too much. So it's a huge, you have to face it. Like that's the only way that you're really gonna get financially disciplined and really know where your money's at. You literally have to write it down. Like in my head, no. So I could definitely be more disciplined in making an initiative for it. Because for me, it's like, you're moving money to pay off this debt, but then what are you doing with the other money? You know? Living your life.
Well, and that's what I struggle with sometimes, because we just did this whole episode about YOLO. So, like, part of me is like, sometimes it's like, you can't die with it. You know what I mean? So, like,
you can't take it with you.
Right. And that's the thing sometimes that I'm just like, that I struggle. This is probably what I tell myself. But I was like, sometimes I'm just
Remember when I was going to pay my student loan, Alyssa was like,
buy the Gucci bag. Like, what are you doing? Like,
and I did.
And this is my problem. And this has always been my problem. My mom has said this since I was a kid, because my mom has literally, at this point, she's given up. Because I had a job since I was very young, and she's always tried to be like, very like, she's tried to like teach me how to budget. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I just live my life. And like,
my life.
I do. And like, that's really not the best way to be. Because I'm telling you, 35 coming up is like, whew. It's like, okay, we are some real ass people. Like, this isn't just like,
we're whole adults.
Yeah, like we're 5 years from 40. Like, this shit is like, okay, I need to like, okay. Like, I'm telling you, I've been having these like moments lately that I'm like, okay, like you have to like figure this out. Like what? But honestly, like, I just have never been like one of those people that was like, I want to buy a house. I want to, like, it just was never like, and maybe it should be, I really don't know. But like before I moved here, that was what my mom, I was kind of, moved here, I'm in Buffalo. But before I moved to DC, that's kind of, I was at like I was going to move out of my apartment probably regardless, because it was getting to the point that it was like, okay, you're either going to buy a house, because my brother's mortgage is actually less than my rent, which makes me ill. But it was kind of, I was at that crossroads where it was like, all right, if you're going to stay in Buffalo, you probably should move towards buying a house or get the fuck out of here. And that's kind of what I did. And I knew when I made that decision that it wasn't going to be easy for me to buy a house. But like, I've just never been one of those people that's like attached to, and maybe because I always had it growing up, like I always lived in a house and my parents, like I've always been stable. So I don't know. It's just, it's not something, is it something that I want to do eventually? Like, absolutely. But then I look at all of the things. Nobody comes to take the shower. No one comes to clean your drain. No one comes to fix something if it's broken. It's like, true. That's on you. Yeah, and like, true. That's what I keep seeing is like, if you're going to buy a house, like be prepared for the repairs. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a financial decision that I just think for me, I just know I'm like not even close to. And like, And I'm also like, do I want to? Yes. But I try not to like get in my head about it and be like, oh, well, I should because everyone my age is doing it. And this is what everyone's doing. Like, I have a woman that I used to work with. She's probably like closer to 50. She just bought her first house in DC. Oh, wow. Mind you, she's a very like, she's a financial person. She was our financial director at the agency that I worked at. But she was just like, it was the same thing. She was like, and I mean, buying a house in DC is like, God,
yeah,
good
it's
luck.
expensive.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you're looking, a row house is $1 million. Like they start at $800,000. So it's like to even, unless you buy something,
you want to play ball,
rehab it, right?
You gotta have.
And if you want to live in Virginia, it's like forget it. Like you kind of really have to buy in Maryland if you're gonna stay in that area. So I don't know. It's just not something that has always been like in the forefront of my mind. As I get older and I think about how much money I'm spending in rent right now, the money that I could not be paying. Like when I went home for those 3 months and I wasn't paying rent, it was the first time in like a decade. And I was like, money. Like if I could go home, like if I could tell my younger self something, it would be like to not be so. I just always loved having my space. Yeah. And I always loved being independent.
Don't move out so soon.
Yeah, stay the fuck home.
If you can.
If you
have
can.
the option to.
If you have the option, if it's good for your mental health, if it all works for you, stay. Or even go out for a little bit and go home. Because the money that you'll save, if it's a situation for you, don't, you know. But in hindsight, I would have done things differently. But it was like I was so hybrid independent that like I wanted my space so badly that I didn't think about it, but in hindsight I would have stayed home for a longer amount of time.
Actually,
I was
gonna say for a hot second when I was like going through my budget, I'm like, damn, do I move back to Buffalo? The rent is so much cheaper here. The rent is so much cheaper. I was like, financially speaking, I mean, you want to talk about saving rent money, girl, you might want to consider that. And for about a few days, I was telling you, I was like, it crossed my mind. I looked at a few rents places and I was like, no.
If it weren't from my family, like I feel sometimes I feel there's like an underlying like pressure to some degree, and also desire. Like for me, it's a part of it is also the chase of what's the next thing that I'm working towards.
Yeah.
So, and I think you can also sometimes get caught up in that, but I can be like, if it wasn't for my family group chat and them ringing in the ear about like, yo, put money X, Y, like whatever the case may be, I wouldn't have. And I could be so much more aggressive, but I'm not. So I think for me, it's more so like actually creating a plan to be a little bit more aggressive on it, because I do, but I just sprinkle. And it's like, if I just go full force with some of the things that I'm already doing, like, okay, I'm just, at the moment, I'm like, in my head, that free-for-all budget thing.
Yeah.
But I would. I mean, my plan was also, where was I going to shift this money? How was I going to shift this money? Was trying to play out, like, 3 different kind of scenarios. But something about this, like, debt just being carried with so much, like, previous, like, I wanted to cut that tie.
Yeah. I will say too, one of the things, I have a little credit card debt now, but before I started my business, it was one of the things, because I've been on my financial journey for a long time. You know, you relapse, whatever. But I had paid off all my credit card debt. I sold my house, paid off all my credit card debt, had paid down my student loans crazy. And I was like really working my budget, made a plan, worked the plan. And I would say one of the things that I did find that it gave me was a lot of, when I was ready to leave my job.
Freedom?
Gave me freedom because I was able to leave my job not knowing where or when money was coming in next, because I knew how much had to go out. It wasn't a car. It was literally just my rent and utilities. And I was like, if I can make whatever my rent was, I think it was $1,600 in the one bedroom I was living in. All I needed $1,600 on any given month to make rent. That's why I was like, I might be selling this MacBook back.
Yeah.
$1,600,
Yeah,
you know,
it makes sense.
You know, all I needed to make was rent because I didn't have any other expenses coming out. But I don't know if I would have allowed myself to make that decision if I had the debt on me, to your point, because I would have been like, oh, I've got all this. I got to pay for it. I got my car. I have this, you know, but so I had so much more freedom in being able to make the decision. And then wouldn't you know, God made a way anyway, right? Like the company I was with kept paying me as soon as, you know, when I was ready to go, I was already signing my first contract. So it's like, it all fell into place the way it was supposed to. But I have always felt strongly that the financial preparation that I did in advance of that was critical to me being able to make the decisions I made when I made them and do what I wanted to do with my my
and
business.
one of them is also like high risk, sometimes high reward. Like I was thinking, okay, well, like why be in such a rush to pay off the debt? What if you just like invested in the market, you know, and be able to like pay off both and then profit? Like great scenario. Like why are you in such a rush? But I think for me, too fearful. I feel like I haven't even jumped on. I haven't unlocked that fear either. Like my mom is like very aggressive. Like, and I'll be aggressive with certain things. Like take a lot of money out for my 401k. Like I'll say like, you know, do certain things. I'm like, I'll go in and I'll like select where I want you. But the extra shit, because I looked at having to go back to Jersey as like I was my sacrifice. Yeah. And to stay for that period, like to stay for the period and shift that, the money around. But where was I going with this? Guys.
Something about, I don't know, your mom. I don't know.
Being aggressive.
I didn't really.
She will 100% like be aggressive in her approach of like how she invests. Yeah. And I haven't unlocked that. You know, you gotta.
But I gotta tell you, you and your mom, like you have. Your mom is you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you shouldn't compare. Comparison is the thief of joy, number one. Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like you'll get it. She set you up so great. She's such an example, but I don't want you to feel like you need to be like, you know what I mean?
She took all these years to get there.
No, but I look at it as like for like my future. Like I'm like, damn, like the opportunities I afford, like it's really through. Like we're next. It's like we're next in line. No, you know what I mean? So I feel like that is where I feel not necessarily more so like I see what it looks like when you have this kind of level of opportunity, like whatever. But anyway, time.
No, makes sense.
So sacrifice. What other sacrifices are y'all making? Any other sacrifices you're making for your budgets?
I don't travel. I just honestly don't have. It's just I put a lot of the extra money goes into this right now. Yeah. So I'm thankful to live in a place that is like people visit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I live in a cool city, but like right now travel is just really not on. So if anyone wants to take me anywhere,
hello.
I'm free. But yeah, that's one thing is just like taking trips. I have my brother's wedding this year. So I know, you know, we're going to be doing something for his fiance and things like that. But just maybe just not doing some of the things like would I love to take a trip? Absolutely. But it's just like right now I'm putting my money into other things. Yeah.
Can you and should you are two different questions.
Right.
That I've found. I ask that question a lot with money. Like, can you afford it? Yes. Should you buy it?
I barely go out. I go out if it's like something planned and whatever. But my outings, my weekends are very like dull unless it's a family function I'm going to, but it's not something that, or like I'm going to my friend's house and I'm bringing whatever, like, but as far as like outside money,
I'm going back in the house.
Like,
like I'll go on dates, like, you know, I'll play my part, but it's not at such a cadence, or not even that. It's just not. It's not affecting the pocket, you know. And it's a lot less. I was spending a lot more money being outside when I was living out here because we were brunching, we were going out, we were living our lives. Or Ubers, we're eating.
It's all, I mean, between Ubers, because we live in Virginia, so we're like, drinking. And it's just like, I don't want to drive, drinking, like, so it's just like your Uber adds an extra easily $30 to your day, you know what I mean, just to get out and back home. I told Jess yesterday, I was like, I'm going back in the house. I had one weekend that I was like, absolutely the fuck not. And like, honestly, I'm also just like, as I'm maturing and I'm just getting older, I'm just like, I don't enjoy these spaces anymore.
What's that Drake line? He's like, I don't really enjoy any of you.
Yeah. And I was out last week and I was just like, I was miserable. Like, I went out maybe 3 days and probably like 2.5 of them I was like, why the fuck am I here? It's just more so like, but I'm a social person. I like being out. So it's just like finding a balance, I think, of like still going out and doing that, but like also I enjoy my me time. Like I enjoy, like I am so cool with being at home. And I just went outside for a week and I was like,
your lashes
I'll be broke at the end of the month if I can't keep this up.
Your lashes look so fabulous, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love these.
No, I love it. I was like, Yeah, definitely stay like limit. I think and can there be more sacrifices? Absolutely. I'm like, my time is coming closer. There's certain things where I'm like, I really want to take a birthday trip during this period, but I'm like, do you need to take it this specific week in August? If you move in September. So it's a give and take. And it's being real with yourself. I think that's in general just approaching finances, and it's like, where do you want to give the extra to? And I just identifying like what it is that you just want, and regardless, it might be you working a goal, saving money to get a specific thing, but like I think all in all, to your point, there's ways to be financially responsible so that all the blessings that God has for you, he can continue to pour on, because we need endurance and sustenance.
One of my check back on this, because my biggest budget buster is takeout. My man is DoorDash.
My man is DoorDash. I'm fucking crying.
I have committed to making like a new recipe each week to like cook at home.
Nice, that's cool.
So yeah, we'll see.
That's cute.
I'm trying, and also I've like set a rule for myself, which it didn't count when my niece was in town because I had someone with me all the time, and also we were moving. It just wasn't. We needed to eat out, but we didn't need to eat that good. But we ate anyway. I'm gonna eat.
We are.
This is my problem. I'm gonna eat good.
One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
eat good.
Okay.
But so not paying for DoorDash, or if I am gonna DoorDash, like I go pick it up versus like paying for the takeout fees, which I've done a lot. I just super lazy to have them come to me, but like I either have to go get it or I have to be going out to eat with someone, not just like at home by myself every day like I've been doing. So check back on my one new recipes a week.
I love that. That's so sweet.
I do. I will say I definitely started cooking more. Just number one, because like it's so easy. Like when I looked at like some days you're spending $50 a day on food, and it's like, this is like incredible.
$18 salad is crazy.
It's crazy when like. And now I find myself, like, this is another reason why I know I'm getting old. I, like, go out and I'll be like, I can make this same. Like, I ate a $37 shrimp Caesar salad last week. $37 motherfucking dollars. And I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, I could have made this at home for $10 with the frozen shrimp that I have. And the fucking, like, it wasn't that good. Like, if it's a phenomenal salad, then fine. But, like, I definitely, also working at the school, it's just so much easier to pack my lunch. Yeah. So it's like a lot easier to cook and then have leftovers the next day. So I used to never cook really. And like, I actually really don't cook. Like it's a very limited menu, but I know what I'm good at. I stick to my strengths.
You made zucchini fries.
And I did. And they were actually so good. Just give me the idea. But yeah, just being more creative. And cause like, that was the thing, coming up here, before I was coming up here, I didn't really go grocery shopping. And I'm like, well, I could go down to Sweet Green and spend $15 on a salad, or I could open my fridge and see like what I had. And that's how I end up making like zucchini fries. Like I end up eating like pretty turkey burger. Like I end up like, it's just more so like, do I feel like doing all this?
The energy.
Yeah.
But, and I've also, I haven't mentioned my therapist all 2 episodes.
You haven't.
Wow. We're still together. She was telling me to reshape my perspective around food, or like not around food, but like, because like I don't mind if like my family is over, my niece is over, I'm like I'm so good about like preparing food for other people and taking care of other people, but it's like it feels like so much work to do for just myself. But it's like, but why don't I deserve zucchini fries and like hand, you know what I mean? Like, why don't I deserve that effort? Like every day, probably not.
No,
like that's not sustainable, but like, why aren't you worth that? So like sometimes I'll go through the extra effort too when I am cooking to like not bring out my special bowls, like all these things that I would, that I would put out for other people. Like if I was hosting someone, like I'll put out like these cute little like, and I mean, I'm done in 5-7 minutes and now I got to clean it up, but I deserved it. But I deserved it. So,
and you'll have tasty food like the next day rather than like not opening the fridge, not seeing anything.
Yes.
Which is why I feel like I always end up doing so much takeout, is like I open it and it's like, damn, I gotta make this shit.
Right.
Like,
especially if you wait too long to eat too. Like
you're so hungry.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, you want me to make something? No, you want something that's gonna feed like.
Or like I'll like, people make fun of me, but I love boiled eggs.
Oh no,
No,
hard
they're
boiled
good.
eggs.
They're
So
good.
like
They're
I'll
good.
boil like 6 of them and just like keep them in my fridge.
No, I need to do that. And that's the
for
other
like
thing.
grab like things to grab.
You
Yeah,
gotta
I was
think
gonna
about
say-
your quick meals, your quick
Yeah.
go-to meals.
Yeah, having some things like that on hand.
Like have fruit already cut up so you can grab it.
Preparing some of that
Overnight
stuff, like, because I
oats.
used to think
Yes.
of meal prep as like you have to make like one meal and then you're gonna eat that meal the whole week. But it's like if you just make a pot of rice and like a few hard-boiled eggs and you make this chicken, you know what I mean, and then you can mix and match and plug.
And
You know
play
what I
around
mean?
with
Like,
the because you can use that chicken. You can have it 2 ways. You can have it
Make
at
it
the
a
salad.
salad.
You
You
can
make a
add it in
wrap.
salad.
You can
have
make it
on the
regular.
side.
yeah, so if you start to think about meal prepping like that, of like what things do I snack on, or like sometimes now I'm just keeping like healthier snacks in the house too. Like if I get really hungry, that way I can hold over until I can make a meal or something, or like while I'm cooking, like chips and salsa and like you know what I mean, just like things like that that are a
Yep.
little bit healthier to snack on too. And that
optimize
can,
your
like,
daily life, and it'll make an impact across the board.
yes,
Yeah.
hello,
Okay.
hello, project manager, come through.
That sounds like
No, seriously.
the ending of an email.
No,
That sounds like your
Because
signature.
I 10 out of like I recommend when I was going into the office, I was carrying all my lunch, all of it, my snacks as well. It makes a huge difference, and not only that, it was aligning with my health goals.
Yeah.
It's just so much better that way.
I have no shame walking in. I got my lunch bag. I'm
For
like,
sure. Are you
hey,
kidding
like
me? I was a bag lady. I would go to work with a backpack, my lunch, sometimes even a gallon of water to force myself to drink it.
Yeah.
And so it's just like those little things. It all adds up.
Yeah.
Even
The 1%. It's almost
Yeah.
like that. The small 1%. If you just like adjust these 1% things, eventually those 1% add up, and you're like, oh, I have.
Yeah.
Oh, this was a lot easier.
Yeah, another tip I would say, like LB's an expert at grocery shopping. There, she got the coup, the sale of the day, the week,
I love
all
a
that.
deal. Okay.
It's like preparing, like going to the market and like preparing a shopping list prior to going and thinking about already what are you gonna eat this week. I'm someone that can eat the same thing every single week,
Yeah.
every single day. I mean, for like a week, and then I'm like, okay, I can switch it up,
Yeah.
switch up the snacks.
But I try to get an idea of what I want to make, and like I also keep like staple things in my fridge.
Yeah.
Like ground turkey and chicken are 2 things I always keep because you can make it in so many different ways.
Yep.
That those are things that like every time I go. Not me talking about my grocery list. It's crazy, but yeah, it's
Hold on,
just
can we
like
talk about ground beef real quick?
oh, I don't eat ground beef.
No, but what's happening with the ground beef in the U.S.? Because I'm
Oh,
not
how
eat it either.
they can
They're gonna genetically
modify.
Yeah.
Oh, I did
All
see
of
that.
the beef.
I did
That-
see
all
that.
of
It's
the
crazy.
ground beef.
Like
Yes.
lab grown?
Lab
Yes.
grown, yes. Thank
all
you.
of it. All of
Crazy,
it.
which is sickening.
So if y'all needed a reason to not eat,
My friend
red
was looking
meat.
for watermelon with, oh my God, a watermelon.
What was
with
that? A watermelon? A watermelon?
watermelon with seeds, and it's actually so hard to find.
It is.
Really?
So, 100%.
because they're all
and
genetically modified.
Basically, and so
They all have like those white seeds or none at all.
yup, it's crazy. It's insane. So like I had a friend who went to the market, and he's like, he walks into the supermarket, he's like, so what all of a sudden changed y'all mind? Because it said watermelon with seeds for $5.99. He's like, I don't know if I trust
Since
these.
when is it with seeds in? Like, because it used to be seedless.
Seeded watermelon.
Like
yeah,
my mom, she would always be
$5.99.
like, well, because the seeds were always cheaper than the seedless,
Yeah.
but now it's with seeds.
Uh-huh. Anyway, if
For
you
sure.
if you have a shop or a location stand in New York, holla, let me know, because I want some seeded watermelon.
That's funny.
Send watermelon.
We do have a lot of
recommendations.
farmers markets in Nashville, and like a lot of just farms in general. Oh
But
my god.
even have you been to the
They're
farmers market?
pricey.
Yeah.
When I
They
used
have
to
a
go-
farmers. They have a farmers market in like downstairs in my building now. But this beautiful thing Amazon has done. But like
I think
I
they
used to
raised the
feel
price
like the farmers market used to be cheaper and you would get more.
More
Now I
benefits.
go and they want $6 for like 5 pairs, and I'm like, I'll just go to the grocery. Like
Yeah.
I guess it's
it doesn't
it's
last.
supporting
I don't think it
local
lasts as
business,
long
but-
either. I have to say, like the
Farmers market?
yeah. I've always found like the fruit at the store. I don't know. Maybe they put preservatives
that's
in
the
it.
shit in it,
It
for
lasts
sure.
a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I will say sometimes TikToks like with herbs, because when we had like Sea Park or whatnot, we would put the herbs in and stuff in jars. So like also learning how to like package up in the fridge. But to your point, the farmers market can be very expensive. Sometimes like fruit, with the veggies, you can probably find
Veggies
a decent,
can be a little bit
they're a little bit
cheaper,
more
yeah.
fair. But you also have to hop around the markets because
Yeah.
each stand has a different price.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen what the prices are in 2023, but they probably raised it because of Amazon.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking going to the one. There's a bigger one in Alexandria that we had gone to a couple times, Jess, and that one I felt like wasn't bad. But I just walked around because all these people are in my fucking yard at like, 9:00 in the morning. So I'm like, well, let me just join you. Yeah. Like whatever. So I go and I just was walking through and I'm like, and it's cool because the way that they have it too is like, they have like art stands too. Like it's actually a really cool like thing to do. Yeah. But I just was like, oh, like, let me see what they have. And I was like, oh no, like, I don't know what type of farmer's market this is, but this gotta be the rich people ones because this is crazy. Like,
not true.
That's wild.
I think a quart of cherries for like $9. I'm like, you do know that it's $4.99 a pound at the store right now.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, just
That's crazy.
Yeah,
and they're gonna last longer.
I think the other piece to it is because I don't have a lot of insight on this, but also it's like giving the money to the farmers.
Well,
and
yeah.
Does feel
like
good
local
to shop
business.
local.
Yeah.
And
support the farmers. Yeah.
I mean, I say it like that because
Yeah,
you know what?
no, let
They
me
got
not
the
support
real
the farmers.
foods.
Yeah.
We in the fake.
No, we love the farmers. I took my niece to a farm. It was a farm sanctuary, so for animals who have like been on slaughter, like they save animals from slaughter. So we got to go see like cows and pigs,
cool.
goats,
Oh, yeah,
and
I
they
saw a
all
picture of you with not actually
That's
putting
so
your hand
cute.
on the. She took a pic. Did you see that on her
No.
Instagram? Oh, she took a picture with like her niece with a pig, I think it was.
I'm crying.
And like she's smiling, like
I'm
she's
crying.
petting the pig, but like
I'm
she's
crying.
absolutely
there was
not.
a gap.
It was
and
like,
I didn't
I'm
even
not really touching the pig, but
She's
I'm gonna
like,
take a picture with
because
the pig.
they were actually gross.
But
But
do they smell?
they didn't smell, but they were like, I mean, the whole farm smelled, I guess.
Got it.
So like, I
Okay.
don't know.
No
But yeah,
comment.
it was cute, but I don't know. I enjoyed going. It was like a nice way to like spend time and like think about the food we eat, where it comes from, because all those animals were supposed to be food at some point.
True.
We had a nice little like vegan menu or meal after
Bacon.
that.
Yeah, I can't get with bacon for real. I don't really
Yeah.
like real
Pork.
bacon.
Yeah.
But then people make the argument about what is turkey bacon, and that's a question I don't want answered.
Also, I love ribs. Like, I was no pork, but like,
that's
come
true.
on,
Ribs
ribs
are
in the
really
summer,
good.
I'll be like, I don't eat pork except give me that plate of ribs.
Yeah,
I will eat
no.
those in the summer. Like,
Dom made ribs for the 4th of July, and that's a whole nother story, trying to grill. We were so fucking mad, but that's why we need a man in our life, because, like, not for nothing, us trying to grill, well, I would say Dom, but it was actually Dom. I'm great support staff, okay? Like, you need a drink, sweetie? You want me to rub your back while you do this? No problem. You want me to go
Get ice water?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make
But you
the
want me to
side?
actually grill it? Although we used to grill. Do you remember when we used to grill? My dad he gave us a grill when we lived on
it was
Prospect.
always very simple stuff, though.
But it was like hot dogs and
turkey
hamburgers,
burgers,
yeah.
hot dogs,
But-
hamburgers, which like,
The ribs took you guys for
Yeah, I mean, we got there. I could tell Dom was visibly furious. And I was like, "Ooh, what happened?" And she was like, well, first of all, like, it was night, like, DC is so hot. Like, it was
trying
90
to grill
degrees,
in 90
humid.
degrees, I don't say.
And like, we're just
giving attitude
outside.
weather.
Yes. And like, when you're standing by the grill, it's just so hot. And like, the poor thing, like, I mean, shout out to her because she killed it. But I would have gave up. I would have been like,
fuck this.
I was surprised we were even doing it. I was like, I mean, but
Look
we
at y'all.
we don't need ribs, actually. I
No,
mean,
but
you
they were
did.
so good. Like,
I was
I
gonna
took
say,
a plate
after you ate
home,
them.
and I was like, the next day, I was like, wow, like, these are
Crazy.
top
That's
notch.
funny.
But
Wow.
well, that's budgeting 101 with
Seriously. Honestly, if there's anyone
all
who-
vibes, guys.
For
In
sure.
conclusion, Alyssa is all vibes.
budget, invest.
Who do you guys follow? Cool question. Who do you guys follow for financial advice? Is there anyone in particular?
My old page, I was following the Master Investor.
Okay.
But like, no, I read the Dave Ramsey book once, and whatever pops up on TikTok. When I
Yeah.
don't follow anybody.
Yeah, Dave Ramsey was like really the
Yeah.
only person I started following, and then there's a few other people.
I follow mental health people. A lot of those.
Yeah, same. Dave Ramsey's like the only person I can cite
It's
by
not a
name.
single
Yeah, I'm
financial
like,
shit
no.
on my timeline.
But if you're a financial advisor, anyone, I don't know, great.
Or yeah, I feel like even like if y'all
Coach.
are budgeting and have
Invest.
budget tips that work for y'all, like
Yeah,
I would be
sure.
curious to know like
I'll
what
try
works-
anything, really.
Yeah, what are y'all doing? What works for you? Where are you making sacrifices? Like
Facts.
I'm curious.
Come
like
hop on the pod.
what else can we do? Or like
Join us.
Yeah, like I feel like let us
The
let
people
us
need
in.
to know.
Seriously, let us pick your brains, because
Yeah.
By the people, I mean me.
basics
Because a
101.
bitch needs help.
Well, I
Don't-
know we said stay outside, but Budgets are giving.
I'm going
stay
back
inside.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yep,
going back
back.
inside.
Budgets are giving.
Hope you have fun, guys. We're
Yeah.
going back inside.
Back inside, girls. Okay, heel hot girl. We're back to the heel and the girl and
Yes.
the financially sound woman.
Yes, yes.
All righty.
So, well, until
That's it.
next time.
Until
guys.
next time,
Enjoy
y'all.
your week.
Bye.
Bye.